enlightening, inspirational, powerfully refining, and unapologetically controversial. Conversations with the Royal Empress. The entire world knows the secret of who you are. Now is the time to step into your queendom and become the Royal Empress that you're meant to be. One woman at a time. Conversations with the Royal Empress. Now Akila, she's the analytical Empress. Akima, she's the Empress that will challenge you. Now, straighten up your crown and be elevated through conversations. Conversations with the Royal Empress.
Welcome to another episode of Conversations with the Royal Empress. This is Akila. And joining me is my favorite co-host, Dr. Hakima. This week, we have a special co-host, and he is the owner of Kuksool of Chicago Martial Arts School. He is a retired Chicago Fire Department lieutenant of 32 years and a security expert, Mr. Michael Hill. Welcome, Michael.
Hey, how are you?
So this week we're talking about defending ourselves. How should Black women protect themselves? And Michael is joining us today to discuss this topic. First, I want Michael to talk a little bit about who he is, why he has the information on how we can protect ourselves.
I've been in the martial art for 48 years. I've trained in judo, taekwondo, Japanese karate. I also now train in Kuksool, which is a comprehensive study of 31 traditional martial arts. So everything from joint locking, pressure points, acupressure, weapon training. This has allowed me to travel along with the Korean royal family, Rock Marines. I've trained everything from FBI, Secret Service, military, and law enforcement as well on the local and state level as well. And this has just put me into that environment where I've just picked up information along the way. There's always more to learn. People in the correctional system, jails, you name it. And that has been something that I never thought I would encroach upon, but this is where I am. And coming up as a little boy, never thought I would be around the people that I've been around as well.
Then it sounds like you are the person we need to talk to.
Definitely.
You know, so and it's allowed me to travel overseas as well and be from Korea, Beijing, and China, all through China, the Shaolin Temple, the 38th parallel, which is on the borderline of South Korea and North Korea, in the mountains with the monks. Been there, and to the very bottom of the peninsula, so all through that country. And that's just from the Asian or the Orient aspect of the martial art. That is what it's got me to.
Wow.
You're gonna have to call me the golden child then.
Uh-oh. And me the knife.
Brother Michael, there's a lot of things going on. We did a show about love, respect, and protecting the Black woman. And, you know, just from and from the Black man's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
But there are oftentimes women are saying that we feel unprotected. There's no one to protect us. And that we're in this alone. And you know what? How would you respond to that? And how do we protect ourselves?
One of the things is the three things, and this is done in what we call the dynamic sphere. It's done in it's in a book called The Dynamic Sphere, Aikido. This is one form of the arts out of many. And the three things that people have to, I don't say have to, but three things that a person should be aware of is perception, decision and evaluation, and reaction. Now, Black women, I'm going to keep it real now. You all have a insight, you have an intuition, and that intuition is your perception. It may be the hairs raising off the back of your neck. A woman carries two souls or has the ability to carry two souls. So you already have a built-in radar, and that radar is, but with all the technology and the distractions we have in the world, sometimes it gets a little clouded, not because you're clouded, but because those things out there, the car or the emails, text messages, where I'm on right now. These are sometimes they're helpful products, but also they sometimes hinder us because we get so involved in the social medias out there. So the biggest thing is the perception. What do you feel? What do you see? How do you respond to what you see? Like when you're going into your house. When you pull up to your house, you might have a certain feeling. I tell a person, drive around the block and do it again.
Mhm.
And that's your reaction. And when now if someone approaches you, that's you only have a heartbeat to make a decision. But once you have distance from a situation, like from your car or persons across the room, or you're about to get on an elevator, you have to make a decision and not be embarrassed by the decision, even if it makes it look like you might a person may look, oh, she's paranoid. You know, a lot of times I see women, especially white women, they may grab their purse. I laugh, but that's a good thing to do. I'm not going to steal it, but that's on a systematic racial type process, thinking process. But when it comes to that, the biggest thing is knowing your surroundings. When you come in at night, if you're at your house, these are just some of the things. I tell a person, if you're on the phone, stay on the phone. If everybody's seen the movie Taken, stay on the phone. Start describing your situation. Don't get off the phone. Let me get in the house. Let me call you when I get in the house. No, stay on the phone until you get in the house because at least that person has to contact you. And those are just some of the things. Having your keys out and making sure your bushes are cut short.
Mhm.
If you're in an apartment building, don't let anybody walk in behind you. You're going to ATM machine. You have a feeling before it happens. It does not come out of the blue. It's there. Are you aware of where it is at that time, or are you paying attention? And the key factor is paying attention and being aware of people. Call somebody in your neighborhood. I don't know. My neighbors know me. Matter of fact, they call me all the time. Did you see so and so? I'm like, no. But I will look out my window. So make sure that you have some kind of cohesion with the people around you. So that helps. If you don't have that cohesion or the people around you, make sure that you have something, some form of contact with somebody at all times. If they don't hear from you in a certain time, especially when you have a routine with people, that's something that you want to be aware. So first of all, you have to get in. I use the house as an example because you get home, a lot of times people feel safe, or sometimes you may not feel unsafe when you hear that noise or something that's unusual. So the things you can do in the house, I don't say person should get a gun or don't get a gun, but knowing where things in your house. My daughter lives with me. Every now and then I ask her, "Where's this? Where's that? Where's this?" And sometimes I would get up in the middle of the night and go through a routine as if something happened. What do you do? And that comes from being on the fire department. If you had to get up, we don't have time to sit down. Or how would you feel if the fire department comes up and I have to read a book how to come help you? We have to know these things right away. And those are just some of the things. Some things are inexpensive. I'm just talking about home security right now. I went to Lowe's and they had these little devices that may run about $5. You can put them on your windows. Sometimes people like to open up their windows. Now you can put an alarm on in your house. You can go through ADT. I'm not necessarily promoting a particular company, but I have it. And but I have other things that you can put on your windows. And it's a chime. Once the window's raised, it chimes. It costs it's inexpensive. Now on your phone, you can use your phone. You can have cameras in your house. You don't have to get, and it's really inexpensive. It may cost like $40, and you can have one in the room, so you don't have to get something hooked up to your internet and everything else into the house, and having all these drives. You can have a little bitty camera sitting in a room, you hear something, you can put it on your phone, and you can look at everything that's in your house, and it actually will let you know something is in the house because your phone may buzz, let you know there's some movement in your house. So those are just some of the small things that you can do at a very low expensive price, very inexpensive. And putting a stick in the window where they can't raise the window. Um, when you leave town, I look at things like that. Go if you have a garage, go in the garage. Leave 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Most of the people that rob people, that they broke into my house before, and they've even gone into my car. They usually work somewhere. As far as vehicles, they work somewhere between 2 and 5 o'clock in the morning, and that's when most of them try to get in. If in the daytime, if that's only if you have a work schedule, most people now are working from home. So some of the, I saw this on social media. A person put occupation thief, reason for unemployment, can't work, everybody home. So so everybody's home now. So these are just some of those things. Now, when they come in the morning, they're pretty bold. Sometimes they'll kick in your door in broad daylight. Try to make things, and I'm going back to the car, try to make things as invisible as possible. They really just looking for change. I'm just talking about security. But as a thief once told a law enforcement officer, if I do this once a day or every day, I'm making $500-$600 in change a week. Do the math. 500 times 4, that's 500 $500. They're making $2,000 still in change out of your car. But as far as feeling safe, one thing is I always say stay prayed up is one of them. Knowing where you are in your house. I tell a person have an escape route. I say even if you have a ladder, if you live on the second floor, or if you're in an apartment building, put a ladder that you can get out your house if need be. I keep a fire extinguisher in the kitchen, and I keep a fire extinguisher up in my room. So if you're not a weapons kind of person, all you gotta do is pull the trick and blind a person coming in and then get out. Hit them with the extinguisher. These are just some of the things, household things that you can have if you're not a weapons person. And if you've ever had of course, you've never had an extinguisher put in your face, but if it put out a fire, it's a chemical. It blinds a person, and then you just keep it in your room, and or in a place where you can get to. I keep mine in the hallway, but I'm not worried about any of that other stuff. Ain't worried about
They'll
all
be in pieces by the time they come in your
that.
house.
I got some other things for you, but making sure that around your house, a lot of times they'll if you have a house, if you garden, you have the stones around your house that for beautification. Those are also devices to get in your house. Some people have block glass windows. The block glass windows are probably the easiest things to get into. Most people don't know that.
I didn't.
You can. I don't know how many people are gonna see this. I don't know how to put that out there. But all you have to do is break one little piece in the corner, and everything is compressorized. It just falls in easily, and it doesn't make a lot of noise when you hit them.
Wow.
So you learn that from the fire department. How we get in block glass windows. I just hit a corner, hit that corner. That's concrete. It's really not that thick. Boom, I'm in. It takes about maybe 10, 15 seconds. Being secure, if you're by yourself, I tell a person, don't get gas at night, but they're robbing people all times now. I'm just not going outside. If you're in your car, if your gas tank is on the side of the driver, I make sure that I put my gloves in the back seat or in a compartment. So when I go in, I'm always looking in my car. So when I open my door to get my gloves to pump the gas, I'm looking in my car. If I have to go back and get changed, if you're not using a card, I have to put my gloves in, I'm looking in my car. I'm also looking in the side view mirror on the passenger side to see if somebody's coming around in the place that I can't see. Turn your tires toward the gas pump. So at least they take the car together. They're not getting out easily. And always keep your phone on you. Some people just leave their phone. No. Keep your phone on you. I don't care if it's for 2 seconds. You can't even call for help because your phone is in the car. I'll be just right. And we become complacent. So we can't maintain or stay complacent under those conditions. And someone just got robbed not too far from around me, going into your garage at night. I like the back end. Some people like to drive in, but once you drive in, you can't see a person coming in behind you. By back end, you got to get good at backing your car up, and you got to be good. We got all these devices. We got 1,000 mirrors, and everybody, I did parking just ain't my thing. Well, I practice, and at least you can see if someone coming, and then they come. If they don't have the gun on you, take the car, put in drive, and make them a bumper sticker. But you know, or make them an emblem. You know, the
With that,
Mercedes Benz used to be on there, and they'd be part of that. So, and change up your routine. Sometimes I drive by my house before I go in my house. And then I'll take, you know what, and have to constantly say that. That's unfortunate. It's not a paranoia, it's just being aware, because those that prey on people are not, do not rest. They never rest. They never rest, ever. They're not resting as we're talking, as we speak. Get in a good martial art class, 10346 South Western Avenue at Kuksool of Chicago. But you want something that is more combative. You don't, you know, martial art has it's a journey. It's a lot of components that apply to the martial art. But you want something. What can I do right now when I walk out my house?
Yes.
What can I do right now? And there's only 3 things that it needs to be done. You know, but and that's hit them high, hit them low. I just tell them, don't worry about anything. Hit them high, hit them low. The computer. Anybody ever get hit in the nose, hit in the throat, or something fly in your eyeball, and you kind of grab your eye right away? It's the same thing what happens if you actually touch somebody in their face. It's number 3 things you should do. After 3 moves, you should be able to escape. And you know, and then again, you have to have a spirituality about yourself. That I'm only here for a moment. And if you want this life and there's no getting out of it, that I'm going to fight, then you're going to have to take it. I'm not giving it to you. You're going to have to take this. And you can't we all have a fear, but you have to put that aside in whatever your belief system is. And then if you have to be ready to die, and you have to be ready to kill. I don't wish it for anybody. I'm ready to die for what I believe in. As I got from the minister one time, I'm ready. Are you willing to kill for what you believe in? Are you willing to protect this life?
You've mentioned 3 things that you can do to escape. Can you actually go into detail about that? Because
okay, one of the things, and I know this would work. I've seen videos. One thing, when police officers have even been sprayed in their face with mace, the first thing they'll do is they will grab their face. A baby walks a certain way. When a baby's learning how to walk, they spread their feet because they need balance. A palm strike, an open hand to the face as hard as you can, distorts. We call the brain the computer. Once you distort the computer, you win. Just distort the computer. If you go to the gym and a man is lifting weights with his eyelids, leave the gym, because he's not from here. You know, I don't care who you are. If you get to the eyes, or you just take your palm, everybody put your palm up to your face. Just put it up, and just to your nose, and just cover the whole face. If you hit that as hard as you possibly can, all right, and it hurts. Your eyes become teary-eyed, the nose. That's one of the most painful. We used to do this with a steel mask on, and I would have we would train the women in the hospitals, the nurses, and I had to stop. I had a steel guard on, and I had a red line in the middle of my forehead, and everybody comes in, I don't know, and they were meek at first. I don't go with no meek females. I'm not for that no more. When y'all get into it, y'all rough. You go to the prison system, the women are rougher than the men. So once y'all tap into it, I'm not buying it.
That is so true. I work at corrections, and it's situations where my coworkers would be like, I want this person, and you, Muhammad, you come with us. And then the guys send back, you don't want me to go? They like, y'all scared. They would pick 2 or 3 women to go over 2 or 3 men, because so many of them guys would be so scared.
Yeah. So you have the Dahomey tribe out of Africa, one of the most feared women warriors ever, and The face, you hit to the groin, a palm strike, you just lift up, and then you ever choke somebody or want to choke somebody before? Go to the throat. Face, groin, throat. Because you hit somebody in the eyes, on the face, they grab the face. When they grab the face, it's natural for a person to spread their legs when you have no balance. It is a natural instinct of when your face or eyes are compromised, you spread your feet. And I've done demonstrations for years. Once you spread your feet, you hit them low. You come up and you lift up like you're lifting groceries or you carrying that baby on your side. And then when they grab the groin, the neck comes out. The hyoid that you call the Adam's apple. Hit them right there. You get in the throat. I don't care who you are. It hurts, and you'll have the strength to lift because I work out and I've seen women carry children on their hips and carry their groceries and walk up 5 miles to get home. And I just have children. I carry them on my hip and my arm is tired after 3 seconds and I work out. I said, I don't know how they do this. This is ridiculous.
I appreciate those 3 simple things that we can do in terms of protecting ourselves. One of the other issues I think that women face is domestic violence. When the enemy is in the home, how do we protect ourselves?
I just did a demonstration, actually a workshop for Sister Nicole Muhammad back in January. And one of the persons, I actually found it was my classmate from college. My boyfriend had stabbed her in the eye with a screwdriver, I think. First of all, you have to understand your self-worth. What are you worth to yourself, your children, your family, those whom you love? What is your worth?
In the fire department, quite frankly, and being exposed to all of the different calls and all of those things. And I don't mean from a physical standpoint, because oftentimes if you're in a house with an abuser, there's already that fear that she has, regardless of what she can do. I know a situation where the woman was a black belt and her husband still beat her.
Yeah.
So, just from an emergency management perspective, what are some things that women can do to get out
of the house?
Get out of the situation. Absolutely.
What I stated before, the first thing is you have to understand your value, who you are. Once you understand your value, once you understand that you are of importance, that's the first thing, because a lot of time when I've gone to these situations, I've seen calls, really is a low self-esteem that keeps a person in that environment. They may have come up in an abusive family where they think that's love. So understanding what love is. So when you understand who you are, to thine own self be true is something that I always say. First of all, you have to have affirmations around you. Because when you're in it, and when I walk into people's houses, I may see the house is not clean. So I understand that's not always the case. But I've seen in some environments, the environment is not conducive to a healthy thought process. So if that's not right, you can't get out of it. You just can't, because that's clutter. So you have to remove the clutter. Once you remove the clutter, then you can see who you are. You got to look in the mirror. Before any of this takes place, you have to look in, a physical mirror, and ask yourself, why am I here? And once that's embedded, then you have to find a way to get out. So when we walk in the house, sometimes they stay because of the children. We are, a lot of us come from broken homes. You gonna make it. Understanding that it may be economics. I've been in shelters. A lot of time it's economics. Where he's doing this, he's doing that. If you don't have the job, so he's providing, or he gives you these things. You got to be, first of all, before anything takes place, you got to be willing to give it up. I'm gonna tell me, my mama left. I'm telling you now. She said that's a wrap. And whatever she was dealing with, you got to say, I'm not dealing with this anymore. That's the first thing is you have to realize I deserve better than this. That's those are things that have to be inside you first before you can even begin to walk out of the situation. And my thing is how long people have come to me before, okay, come brother, I need you to come beat somebody up. Okay, you come do this. I said, are you willing to take money out of their pocket? And until you're willing to hit them in their own pocket, child support or jail, or right now, I don't even want to see brothers locked up because the climate is a whole different program now anyway. And you have to be ready to give it up. You have to be ready to walk out and get the children. He got to go to work. If he's working, hell, even if he's selling dope, he got to leave. But he got to get out the house, get out and go. Something making me laugh at myself. But and you have to have a place to go to, but you can't go back. So I don't know if that answers the question, but self-worth is the first defense mechanism that one has to have. Find out if you have someone you can talk to. That person, if you have a one good friend, that good friend don't want to see you in that situation unless they want to be with that man themselves. But I mean, I've seen it.
Oh yeah, it's true though.
I've seen it. So when I walk into these people's houses, I'm like, you can see it. I see it in their face when I'm walking. It takes about me for 10 seconds for me to see what the problem is. I don't care what they come out of their mouth. 10 seconds, I know they're lying. I know I've seen it imagine, I've had over, not all these calls, but I did the math one time. Maybe I've been on over 54,000 calls. Maybe, and that's a small number. Maybe not all abuse, but in the last 10 years, most of it has been abuse. Wow. And gang violence and shooting. And I see it. So when we go into the home, the health and this, the first thing you have to do is put yourself as number one. And until you put yourself, I am number one, not, of course, the creator, but you have to say that I'm number one after the creator. And then until you notify yourself, I said, until you notify yourself, none of this works. None of it. The thing you want to do too is keep a diary. Keep a record of something going on where they can't see it, because if you get to the point and it becomes a fatal situation and you have a documentation, be it through law enforcement, be that you have, maybe you didn't say something, keep your photos, keep your, write this stuff down and hide it. Good. Y'all know how to hide stuff. Y'all don't give me this. Y'all better than us.
You ain't right.
We think we have, so every time I we lying, we ain't good at it. So we need to stop this altogether. Sisterhood, that's your strength. Find the women. When y'all had enough, it's over with. So if you having domestic abuse, call your friends. They'll fight for you if you can't fight for yourself.
That's right.
But don't.
You know what? That's actually just hearing a man say to women to find your sisters and how important sisterhood is.
Yes. Isn't that so? That's remarkable.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't know what my greatest fear is. If you mess up, it's the sisterhood. You better run. And maybe people don't like this, what I'm about to say. When they're looking for those so-called terrorists in other countries, I said, tell me your child support. Sisters will find you. Right. I'm serious. Case in point, I know this is off kilter. Our lights were out for like 3 days when we had this tornado. Mm-hmm. My neighbor, now I did what I had to do. My neighbor found out where the CEO of Exelon lived, had his cell phone number, knew he had bought a new house. We had ComEd out here within less than 24 hours.
Wow. Lord have mercy.
I said, what? Not did my little magic. It helped a little bit. You're going to find out where the CEO of ComEd, Exelon is. And we had 8 trucks in my alley the next morning.
So what you're saying is, that the power is in the sisterhood.
Mess with it if you want to. I was raised by my mama. What you hear coming out of my voice is out of a male voice, but is out of a woman's spirit. What you hear is the spirit of a warrior woman coming out of a man that put me in an environment of strong men, but it was a warrior woman that put me around warrior men so that I can say what I say today.
That's right.
And it was her, and it was the sisterhood that she had that put me where I am to be able to stand up as a man and to defend what I defend. So, oh, that's the man. No, you listen to my mama's. What you hear, just hear it in my voice.
Challenges, though.
Challenge.
And you put a whole lot out there, brother. For any sister in this day and age who felt unsafe before they heard this podcast, they're going to have a whole new mindset. One of the first challenges, we need to change our mind into thinking perception, decision and evaluation and reaction, as our brother so eloquently placed it. As women, we have a natural intuition. We have to learn how to read a situation to know, to see it for what it is, to see if we need to fight or flight. That's what we need to do. We need to tap into the homie tribe, like the brother said. You know, those are warriors. Tap into your inner warrior. Activate that inner soldier. Another challenge is to be security-minded. We're not security-minded. If you're going to be on your phone, be prepared to use it as security to alert someone when you need assistance. But don't be all in your phone where anybody watching can knock you in the head because you ain't paying attention. Understand when to be predatorial when you're dealing with predators, because that's the only thing they respect. Predators think about being predatorial on prey all day long. You have to psychologically defeat them. Refuse to be prey and know your self-worth. Another thing is be prepared to have an escape route. We don't have it. We tend to drive the same route every day to work. We don't take a different route. If we're in a restaurant, we need to be thinking, if somebody come and shooting, what am I going to do? We have to be on security at all times. Another thing is, if you're a person who don't believe in weapons, and we understand there are a lot of people who don't want to have guns in the house, but you got fire extinguishers, you got kitchen utensils, hell, you got paper, as our brother taught us, you can use as a weapon. So know your environment and know what you can use to defend yourself. Remember, face, growing, throat. If you are a woman and you're in a situation and you cannot protect yourself and there's a man that's aggressing you, remember, strike face, growing, throat, and just get the hell out of Dodge. And those are my challenges.
All right. Thank you. And Brother Michael, what we usually do is we like to give our guests a final word, at least 30 seconds or less. And also, if someone is interested in learning from you and how they can get in touch with you, if you can give us that information, we'd appreciate it.
Okay, I can be reached at 10346 Southwestern Avenue. I'll give you my number, 312-869-2592. That's the Google number, 312-869-2592. If they mention this podcast interview, they'll get a discount with me, or I'll work something out. Anybody that uses you all's name, it's valuable to me,
Okay.
because you all are valuable to me. And the other thing is that to thine own self be true. Know thyself. I mean, really, look in the mirror. Michael Jackson said it best, that man in the mirror, man meaning male and female. And understanding that what your self-worth is the most important thing, because if you don't matter to you, then you won't matter to anybody else, period. And there's no other way to document it up. That's it. That's all. So I appreciate you having me come on. I enjoyed it more than I thought I was. And I talked longer than I thought I was. I'm like, man, it's 12, it's almost 1 o'clock.
But be on again. We're gonna have you on again. I want you to come on again. So this time we're gonna be able to see.
We'll do that. I don't have a problem with it. I enjoyed it. Keep doing what you all are doing. I love the smiles, the energy that I get from across the room is transcending space and time. So the essence of what's being done here is of value, and I value you all. So, and when I'm gone, I'm gone. So I'll leave with these words. If there's any kindness that I can do, then let me not defer, for I may not walk this way again.
Okay. Right.
Thank you so much, Brother Michael.
Thank you.
And thank you to our listeners. We will see you, or you'll hear from us next episode.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Conversations with the Royal Empress. Tune in next week for another enlightening conversation. For more information on the Royal Empress, please visit the website royalempress.org. You can also follow the Royal Empress on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Conversations with the Royal Empress is a subsidiary of the Royal Empress Organization. All rights reserved.